Did you know Urban.org tells us that 71 million US adults have debt in collections? It is estimated that 1 in 3 US adults have some debt in collections, according to CNN Business. That's a lot of people. As mentioned in my other video, we actually had an issue with a collections account, and the scary thing was I had no idea the debt existed until I kept getting these collection calls. My tale is an unfortunate one because it was an old student loan debt. When I went to school in Hawaii, I was only there for 1 semester, so I did not use that email account anymore when I came back. But then when the updates were sent about the debt, I did not receive them, and so it became a whole fiasco, and we learned about it later while dealing with debt collectors. Fun, right? I'm happy to welcome you back to our Biesinger Fire Journey channel. I am Jordan Biesinger, not Biesinger or Bessinger, just Biesinger. I'd love to hear from you today in the comment section below with your thoughts from this video. As always, please leave a like and subscribe for more financial freedom content. Alright, so understanding how important it is to get out of debt and how to deal with debt collectors is imperative to finding financial freedom. I truly hope that our story can provide insights on how to deal with debt collectors and improve your overall credit score. My collection account came to me as a big surprise. It was from a past college tuition that was never paid off. I was very young at the time. I transferred to a new college in Hawaii and thought that I successfully received the student loan, but there was one document that needed to be signed and I completely missed it. Since the document was not signed over, I never received the student loan tuition and the amount was sent to collections. After 1 semester in Hawaii, I transferred back to my school in Utah. It was about 1 year later I started getting calls from debt collectors telling me that I had a collections account and I did not pay my tuition. Both my wife and I were shocked. We're like, this can't be right. It's got to be a scam. There was no way I didn't pay my tuition, so we just ignored it for the time being. We found out crystal clear that the collection account was real when applying for our second property loan. Turns out it wasn't a scam and it was hurting my credit score. The good thing was that our credit score combined with my wife was not that bad since my wife's credit was amazing, and together we were still around 700. The worst way that it affected us is that we were not able to get the best interest rate for our house loan. The interest rate on our mortgage ended up being almost 5%. We learned a valuable lesson and became much more aware of our credit score moving forward. We started saving like crazy after we closed on the loan. Our total debt collection was about $6,000. We were able to successfully negotiate with our debt collector. For the final settlement, we only need to pay $3,500 total as a one-time payment, and then the collection account would be completely removed from our credit score. Our credit score shot up like fire after that. Woo! I would now like to share with each of you the details on how we successfully dealt with the debt collectors with some tips. Number 1, verify your debt, avoid scams. First of all, you need to make sure that the collection amount is yours, make sure that the debt is your debt, and make sure that the collectors who are calling you are not a scam. Don't give out your trust too easily or give away your personally identifiable information out too easily. It is always good to be careful, and there are lots of scammers out there. We requested the debt collectors send us everything in writing through the mail. We also called up my school in Hawaii to check. I asked them a few questions like, did you really send my unpaid tuition to this debt collection company? And several other questions to verify. Tip number 2, know your rights. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA, clearly states how and when debt collectors can talk to you. Here are a few key points. Debt collectors can only contact you between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. in your time zone unless you agree to another time. Debt collectors generally cannot discuss your debt or ask your personally identifiable information with anyone but you or your spouse. Debt collectors can't harass you, lie to you, or treat you unfairly. If it happens, you can report them to the Federal Trade Commission and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Tip number 3, negotiate. Don't just negotiate about monthly payments or lowering the total debt, but have them remove the collections account from your credit account/history. Having the bad credit removed from your credit score will be so worth it. After we found out our total collection amount was around $6,000, we started calculating our monthly budget to see how much we could afford for a monthly payment. We tried to save up a big amount of money to pay off the account with a one-time payment. but we didn't have all the money yet. We then called the debt collector and agreed on a very minimal amount for the monthly payment plan. You can tell the debt collectors that you don't have a lot of money or cash flow, and this is the only amount you can do. Not much longer after that conversation, we worked our butts off and saved up $3,500. We felt that we could try to negotiate again with our debt collectors. We didn't really think our negotiations would be successful, honestly, at the time. This is because it was just a little over half of our original collection amount, from $6,000 to $3,500. But it never hurts to try. We called our debt collector and discussed what was possible if we made one-time payment and also needed the debt removed from our credit report. We also told him we didn't have a lot of money and worked off our butts to save up this $3,500. It would help us a ton if he could agree with our proposed plan. We also explained how the collection happened, how we didn't fully know about the collection account, and that normally we take responsibility for our bills. So the debt collector then told us he needed to talk with our original debt owner, which was my school back then in Hawaii. We told him to please tell our school our situation. We emphasized it would be a big blessing for our young family if they agreed to our plan. Luckily, just a few days later, we received the miracle call. And they had agreed on a settlement of $35,000 plus removing the collection account from my credit history. This was such a huge blessing, and we were so happy it worked out. Tip number 4, have everything in writing. After receiving the news of being able to do a one-time payment and have the account removed from our credit, we requested to have a settlement agreement in writing. The writing would show the total collection amount that we paid in full and that it was removed from our credit history. After the debt collector agreed to send everything over in writing, we made the one-time $3,500 payment. A few months later, we went to check our credit score. The collection count was fully removed and my credit score went up a lot. Life is a journey of learning lessons, and we have learned a lot in this matter. We need to learn quickly from our mistakes and face life optimistically. Paraphrasing what Kevin Hart has said, it's okay to make mistakes, we just need to learn how to fail better each time. Due to this experience dealing with debt collectors, we have both become more concerned about our credit scores, including frequently checking both our email and mail to see if there are any unpaid bills. So there you have it. There's the 4 tips with our personal story. If you find this video helpful, please click that lonely like button and comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe for more tips and tricks. Take care, and we'll see you soon.